Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Rowdies podcast. Not to brag, but ever since we started this podcast, Tampa Bay Rowdies are undefeated. Another win, 3-0 on the season. They defeated Loudoun 3-1 last week at Al Lang. A little bit more of a challenging game than Pittsburgh. They got punched in the face. They couldn't finish their chances, but at the end of the day, they got 3 points. We are back again to talk about it a little bit, talk about the week. Seth is here. My man, what's going on?
Dude, first of all, I hopefully everybody knows that since we've been doing this, the Rowdies haven't lost. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure everybody watching knows, but now everybody you work with, they need to know as well. So
yeah, of course. Listen, there's a lot of people that could take a lot of credit for this because there's a lot of different things that happen internally, but we're gonna stamp the podcast.
But it's not about internal. It's about external right here, and we're making it happen is what we're saying.
Yeah.
So especially by having Big Russ come by later in the episode, and we're going to have to find out if he likes the name Big Russ or not.
Yeah, we kind of ran with that one pretty hard. I've been running with it on the broadcast. I hear them calling him around the locker room as well. So we'll actually have to check in with him to see if that's okay or if we need to pivot a little bit.
Dude, so you said it was a little bit of a tougher game than Pittsburgh? Because when I was watching the game at home, by the way, great job. This was the first time that I've watched the Rowdies on TV, the first time I've ever heard you do color. Man, you were so good, man. It was like you had been doing it for a very, very long time. From all the sports that I watched, it sounded like you fit right in. It didn't sound like you were working through anything or that you're an amateur. And I'm not just saying that because we're friends. I mean, legitimately, you were very good. I enjoyed the whole broadcast. St. Pete looked so good in the background on TV and everything. My daughter, who I can't get her to watch anything with me, sat and watched the whole game. Let me ask you about this. The goal that was taken off the board,
yeah.
You, which was our boy Marco Micheletto. He kissed his daughter.
That was such a good moment.
It was such. I was very yes. That's why I want to find out about it. You said you understand why the guy stuck his foot like that. I mean, what was it? Why did that goal get taken off?
So technically, if somebody infringes with the play in any capacity and they're in an offsides position, that's offsides. So from the referee's viewpoint, and we talked about this after the game as well with some other people who said, yeah, I think that was the right call. But from the referee's viewpoint, when Dolabella Pedro stuck his foot out and put it in the way of the goalkeeper, that interferes with the goalkeeper's vision, that interferes with the play. A defender had to track him. So he was involved in the play in a minor way, but because he was in an offsides position, the referee put the flag up.
Do you think it was from being a goalkeeper, is it an actual distraction, even just a little something? Can that mess you up?
It can. I mean, I don't know that it necessarily did in that situation, but it was the right call. If there was replay in the USL and it was a goal, they would have gone back and looked at it and called it offsides because he stuck his foot out, because he was in the play, because the defender had to follow him. So it was the right call, but it did ruin a pretty cool moment. That was so cool when Marco scored and he runs over to his daughter, kisses his daughter, and then it's all the smoke's going off. And
I know.
And then it's I'm sitting there and I see the linesman's hands up and the referee's hand up, and I'm like, this one's coming
They
back.
were starting play again, and then the colors were still there, and there was it was a lot of disappointment. So let me ask you this: with our buddy Jamali playing with Jamaica right now, what do you think about the goalkeeping that happened on Saturday night there? I mean, that was a very, very solid effort to step in there.
Yeah, absolutely. So the goal that they scored, and I talked about this game was a little bit more challenging than Pittsburgh, and what I mean by that, I think the Rowdies dominated the game more, but sometimes when you dominate a game like that and the ball's not going to the back of the net, it's just one of those games where you kind of drag on, and the next thing you know, you're tied. Or the next thing you know, you lose. And it's how did that even happen? That happens in soccer all the time.
So you think they should have had more, the Rowdies?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For sure. They should have scored a lot more. Loudoun's goalkeeper, he's 19 years old, very good. He played a great game.
Yes.
But then there were other opportunities, too, where it was missed chances, goal line clearances, things like that.
Jeff said you guys better step up
it was
your
just
game.
No, not like that. They would say the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's more of I'll get back to your goalkeeping question because it all ties in together, but they could have been up by a few more goals at the end of the first half, but they weren't. And then the foul happens. The guy on Loudoun, that goal is up for goal of the week, which also Sebastian Cruz's goal is up for goal of the week, the first goal of the game. So if you're listening to this, you haven't voted, or if you voted already, you could vote some more. Keep voting because we want him to win that. But you get a foul in the second half. You have all the momentum in the world going into halftime. In the first 2 minutes, you give up a foul on top of the box. The guy hits an absolute scorcher of a free kick. Not much the goalkeeper could do in that situation. So from the goalkeeping aspect, he played fine. You know what I mean? He did his job. He did his thing. Not much you could do on a goal when that happens. You just kind of tip your cap to him and say, good shot. But you get punched in the face like that. And I don't really think they ever got punched in the face versus Pittsburgh. And this was a moment where a lot of times you see momentum in games swing when that happens, especially coming out of halftime. So they took the punch in the face. it looked like Loudon was getting a little bit more confident. They were having a little bit more joy because they realized that they didn't have any business being in the game, but they were tied. And then, Max Schneider scores a goal that is like a worldie. Hits it off a full volley. I think they end up calling it an own goal, which is kind of unfair, but he hits an incredible goal, and then the Rowdies get that momentum back. But then again, there were multiple chances where they could have scored, where they didn't, to like get that 3-1 lead, to like give themselves a little bit of cushion. And if you remember in the game, or if people hadn't watched it, there was a moment where there's a little bit of confusion in the defense. A Loudon player has the ball on a 1v1 breakaway with the goalkeeper from a long distance. He takes a shot, it hits the post. I mean, you're talking about like 2 inches to the left away from being a 2-2 game in a game that the Rowdies absolutely dominated. So when things are going your way in sports, you win games like that, which they ultimately did. Like, they ended up sealing the game. The third goal was just brilliant. I broke it down on social media for people that want to like learn.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So like, if people want to learn why it was such a good goal, they had like 14 passes or something before they scored, before Loudon even touched the ball, which is like, that's great soccer. So they were able to seal the game off, but it was just a game where it was like they dominated. They didn't get the goals that they probably could have. They didn't put it away until like the 85th minute. So it was just a good resilience test for the team that you hadn't really had to see that yet.
Well, I thought that there was a lot of action for whether, it was all the missed shots or the made shots. Like, I thought it was awesome. And I didn't know because I was watching it at home. Was Brett Phillips, Rays legend, was he there on Saturday night?
Yeah, he was. We had him out as the honorary captain. So obviously, we're owned by the Rays, like the same ownership group. So I reached out to Brett about him coming out and doing that because I wanted to try to get things more involved with the both of them. And I haven't had a chance to catch up with him, but it looked like he had just a blast.
Yeah, I've
never seen him not smiling.
I haven't seen him in a couple of years, from his last stint with the Rays. But I mean, I always thought that he was just such like a Largo and a Seminole and just like a Pinellas County legend. I just thought that there should have been billboards up of him like the whole time he was playing because like there was just like people were just drawn to him. Even he would come in and he would pitch. So that's very, very cool. I'm disappointed that I got to miss out on him being there, but hopefully we can get him on the podcast soon. He'd be a great guest.
It'd be cool. And I mean, we work under the same organization, so I think it should be possible, right, if you're going to be able to get anybody. But it was cool to have him out there. And, anytime that you're able to get cross sports, especially with soccer, when you get more people from other sports, because it's obviously not the most popular sport in the country, but whenever you get more people from other sports involved in soccer, and especially you get them to the games, I mean, you've been to the games, like it's hard to have a bad time at Outlying Stadium. And especially with the way that the team's playing right now, they're playing such an attractive, attacking style of soccer that even if the game doesn't go their way, you know that there's going to be a ton of action, and you know that they're going to have chances on goal. And it's going to be really hard to see a team come into Outlying and like eliminate the excitement from the game the way that the Rowdies play. So I think that the guys on the field are doing their thing for sure to make sure that it's entertaining for the fans, which is huge.
So what is coming up this week, and then when is the next home game so people can know?
Yeah, so we're playing against Jacksonville, which is they're a new team to the league. So they just started this year. So it's like an in-state rivalry that we're trying to build up. So they'll be away at Jacksonville. We do have a watch party. It's Colony Grill in St. Pete. Watch party starts at 7. Game kicks off at 7:30. So they'll be on the road this weekend.
I've heard great things about Colony Grill, by the way. One of my friends was telling me like they have this awesome pizza. So this might be my chance to actually go out there, go to the watch party, and get it all in this weekend.
Come on out, man. So it's pretty cool. Like they'll bring. They're a big sponsor for the Rowdies. They'll bring an ungodly amount of pizzas every game day for staff and everything.
Really?
So like
Okay.
up in the booth, I'll crush like 5 pieces before a broadcast just because it's like.
And then you're taking a couple home with you, I'm sure, right?
stealing some pizza for the ride home. But we play Jacksonville away this weekend, which will be a good test, and it'll be fun. Like, if you're a fan that's been coming to games or you want to get into it, let's like keep building up these watch parties. The first one they said was the best one they've had in a long time.
Good.
So let's keep building on top of it. I'll be at this one having fun, getting rowdy, no pun intended. But then from there, after that, we have a home game versus Oakland, which will be a good test. And that's actually a 90s theme night, so I'm trying to think of different fun content to do for that.
Okay, and maybe like MC Hammer can come or something like that.
That'd be
Or
sweet.
how about this? In Sync. That would probably not be too hard to book them either. So just a lot of options just for you, I'm an idea guy. You're an idea guy.
I don't know if you've seen the news lately. I think Justin Timberlake might be a hard get.
Well, I think he's definitely more available to do shows. But listen, I don't know. We don't, we're not a Timberlake show here, but we could. Maybe we'll do a podcast about it. What is going on in the world of soccer? I know that USA plays. Is it today?
Yeah, tonight.
I went and checked. There looks like there's about 50 or 60 games that are going on. What's going on with the U.S. and what are they playing for right now?
So right now the U.S. is just doing friendlies, and so they're just getting scrimmages in. But in the scale, I want to come back to U.S. soccer.
Okay.
But we're going to address like kind of what's going on today. We're recording this on Tuesday, so all the games, by the time you listen to this, the games are probably over and we know what's going on. But today's the day where we're finding out which teams that are still left to qualify for the World Cup make the World Cup. So those games are happening today. Like, Italy still hasn't qualified for the World Cup. Obviously, we talked about Jamali. Like, they have a big game tonight, and if they win, they make the World Cup.
Ooh, man.
So that's going on tonight. So it's like a huge, huge moment to see who fills in those final spots for the World Cup.
Because I need one more thing in my life to stress out about, and now I'm going to be worrying about Jamaica making the World Cup. Obviously, I want them to, because I love Jamali so much. I mean, good Lord, I don't need this kind of stress in my life, Jeff.
Well, I was going to say, like, life comes at you pretty fast. I don't think 2 months ago you would have been sitting here worried about Jamaica making the World Cup.
No, man, but I'm all in now, dude.
Now we're invested in it. So they have a hard test, though, man. If they're able to pull that off, that'll be a big win for Jamaica if they could pull it off. They have a tough test, but I mean, Italy still hasn't qualified for the World Cup. They still have to win today. So there's a lot of teams out there that still need to qualify. But for the U.S., I mean, this is the first time that we're getting to look at the team that's supposed to be close to what we're going to see in the World Cup. And last Saturday, when the Rowdies, were warming up for the game, the U.S. got smoked by Belgium. Smoked. Like, not even close, not a good game. The team didn't look good. They looked flat, and it was just like, oh, no, like, this can't be happening because the World Cup's so close. So tonight's a big one. Portugal, they play Portugal, and, it's one of those things where it's like you'd like to see if this group bounces back, and, like, that game was a little bit of a fluke, a little rusty. They haven't played together for a long time. But if they go out there tonight and get smoked versus Portugal, it's going to be the world of U.S. soccer is going to be a little bit like, oh no.
So people will be talking about U.S. soccer for all the wrong reasons if they get smoked, And if not, then hey, then this is a completely different conversation. But
yeah, I kind of want to do like I'll do a reaction if they win, because if you're listening to this post-win, or if you're listening to this post-game, which everybody's going to be listening to this after the U.S. plays, I want to give you my reaction if they win. I'll give you my reaction if they lose. All right? And I'll give you my reaction if they tie.
Okay.
If they tie, okay, we might not be that bad. That was a good result. We'll take it. Portugal is a good team. We'll take it. I'm okay.
Okay.
If they win, I'm like, all right, the Belgium game was a total fluke. The team just needed to get rhythm. This team is ready. They're going to be able to come together. They're going to be able to get out of their group.
Maybe that loss helped them.
The loss might have helped them, kicked them in the ass a little bit. I don't know if I can say that. We'll figure that out later. Kicked them in a little bit, and then, but we're okay. The group is what we thought they were, group of good players ready to step up in the moment. If they lose, it is like panic button on the table, blow everything up.
Fire everybody, reset.
Find the players that make this system work. Find the players that have the fight. I don't care if you're going, go to the MLS and get some of these guys that'll just get stuck in and fight for the country to perform well on the world scale. Find anybody that'll turn this thing around.
Do you think we have?
Because the panic button will be on the table.
Does the country have the talent? It's just about finding the right mix of guys.
This is such this conversation could go so many different ways, that they have a lot of very talented players that play for some of the biggest clubs in the world, but it's trying to find the right mix, the right system, the right group of players that fit the way that they want to play in this current World Cup. And for me, the way that the U.S. soccer used to be we're going to be a scrappy group that we might not have the technical skills as everybody else, but we're gonna fight. We're gonna get stuck in
gritty.
We're gonna defend like crazy, and then we're gonna use our speed and athleticism and couple skill players to beat you on the back end, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. And they've gone away from that model because they have guys that have developed in more of a quote unquote soccer academy atmosphere, right, where they're teaching the technical skills. So now the U.S. tries to be more technical, which on the world scale, it's cool because it's, we got players playing for the biggest clubs and all that jazz, but it's come the World Cup time, if they're not winning with this, what was the point? Why did we switch the model? If we haven't progressed from 2014 where we made the round of 16 and Tim Howard made a bunch of saves, but we could have beat Belgium to get to the round of 8, then what are we doing?
I love the passion, man. All right,
I mean, it's World Cup, man.
Yeah.
It's the World Cup. Your passion for Jamaica is my passion for the U.S. right now. But it's the World Cup, and it's there's one time of the year where everybody gets fired up for soccer, and we saw what it was like with the Olympics, with U.S. hockey.
Yeah.
People that don't even like hockey. Speaking of hockey, Russell Cicerone, he's our guest. We're going to talk some hockey with Russell Cicerone because he's a pit bull. But it's just you want the team to do well, and especially as a soccer fan and somebody that's invested so much of my life to the game, you just don't want to watch the U.S. not do well anymore.
Dude, I'm with you, man. I will not stand for it at all. So, guys, figure it out, or you're going to get Jeff's bad reaction to this, and we don't want that.
I want to introduce you to the U.S. soccer like Twitter sphere.
Oh no!
Watch the game tonight.
Okay.
And if they lose,
go on Twitter.
Just go on Twitter
Yeah.
and type in U.S. soccer and just read the world.
Yeah,
It'll be an electric factory of negativity.
Oh man, that's what Twitter mostly is all about. But sometimes it could be humorous. This sounds like it could be painful. But you know what? We're planning for a win. We're planning for a win.
Yeah.
So that's going on. That's in the world of USA Soccer. Again, we've got Big Russ coming in. Next game is Jacksonville, and then the next home game for the Rowdies is Oakland for 90s night.
Oakland for 90s night at Al Lang Stadium. And again, we're going to keep preaching this because I don't think that a lot of people in the Tampa Bay area, I don't think that a lot of people have caught on, the media and the things like that. And, we're trying to get the word out there as best as we can. I know lightning season's going on and all these different things are happening around Tampa. But, the Tampa Bay Rowdies, the soccer team in the area, the professional club, they're 3-0. They've given up 1 goal, and it was a free kick. So they haven't given up any goals in the run of play, which is crazy. And, by the way, they haven't been healthy yet. Like the two players, two of the players that have come on as substitutes, and there's other guys that are injured that are good players, but 2 of the guys that have come on as substitutes, Emily Myers and Evan Conway, those were 2 of the biggest signings the Tampa Bay Rowdies had this entire offseason, and all they've done is scored goals and gotten assists in very limited work. So it's a team in Tampa Bay that looks to be one of the better teams in the league, looks to have a promising thing going on at a stadium where it's very intimate. I'm selling it, but people need to get on board and realize that we have a team that's really special here in Tampa Bay, and it's starting off in a really special way. So if you're listening to this, if you've seen this, spread the word because, it's going to be something really fun going forward for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's a fun team to watch, and you know how Tampa Bay is. Sometimes it takes them a little bit longer to catch on to a team's success, but they will be there.
But everybody in Tampa loves a winner.
That's right.
And we're winning.
That's right, I know.
Now's the time.
We're letting you know, guys, now is the time to jump on. You have all season long. We're not gonna chop, we're not gonna close the door to this, this bandwagon, but feel free to jump on at any time and let us know. And I'm excited to talk to Big Russ, and we'll actually see if he likes that name or not.
Yeah, I've been leaning into it, so we're about to find out. All right, as promised, we have our guest here, Russell Cicerone. Thank you for joining the show. He's been on an absolute tear, so I appreciate you taking the time to come join us on the podcast this week. Let the fans get to know you a little bit more and, just kind of dive in on your career and what's been going on.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you for having me.
So I guess I didn't remember doing this, but I guess on the first podcast, this is like the 4th one? Is this the 4th one?
I think so.
I guess I referred to you as Big Russ, just completely out of nowhere. And Jeff has, now that he's on TV doing color, now he's calling you Big Russ. And I wrote down as one of my questions, how long did it take you to warm up to Big Russ, not knowing that I might have started this whole thing. I'm sorry for doing it at all. Are there nicknames for you, and there's got to be better ones than Big Russ, or are you okay with that?
No, I mean Big Russ is fine. It really has gained momentum in the locker room. The guys
really has it?
I can't walk past anybody without them saying Big Russ.
Is it
yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
No, it's part of it, but the guys are having a lot of fun with it. So
that's good.
But are you having fun with it? Are you having fun with it? It's like good friendly banter.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's amazing. Keeps things fun. Keeps things light. It's awesome.
All right, so I just got to issue a challenge to the fans then,
because
then we got to like add on to it, right? We need the tifo. We need a Big Russ tifo in the stadium because that's how you start building these types of things, and that's how the legend grows.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
as long as you're
I know. Yeah, I'm good with it. Yeah, let's keep it running.
All right, Big Russ it is.
Yeah.
All right, so Big Russ, we got Big Russ on the show joining here, man. And dude, honestly, like the first thing I want to talk to you about, because one of the first things I got introduced to you as, and you said it to me the other day, is that you had your parents in town.
Yeah.
And they brought home the hockey. They brought home the skates. They brought the skates to Tampa. The hockey skates, for those that don't know.
Yeah. Well, another thing that grew in the locker room is that I played pretty high level hockey back in Michigan, and a lot of the guys were asking me if I could still skate and if I could still move. And every off season, we're out on my sister's lake and playing some pond puck, and I still got it a little bit.
You still got it. Have you been to a Lightning game yet?
Not this year, but I've been to a Lightning game in the past, and amazing atmosphere there. They do a great job.
What do you need? What do you need better conditioning for, hockey or soccer?
I think it's a different kind of conditioning,
Okay.
more like
just the quick spurts in
the
hockey.
Quick spurts in hockey. You gotta have that short bouts, but definitely different. Definitely taxing on your body in different ways, but both extremely tough. Yeah.
So one of the things that we talked about this away from the show, but now I want to bring it to the show because I thought it was pretty cool. when you were playing hockey at a pretty high level, you had some line mates
Yeah.
that obviously went on to do some bigger things.
Yeah.
Will you tell the people a little bit about those line mates and kind of what they've accomplished and really the level that you were
Connor
actually playing
McDavid,
hockey
you
at?
played-
No, yeah. I wish, man. He's unbelievable. But no, my one of my good friends from high school that I played with for a few years won the cup with the Blues, St. Louis Blues, in can't remember what year that was.
It might have been the Pat Maroon
That
year.
was
with
Pat
Yeah,
Maroon.
them.
that's what it
the
was.
big rig.
And he got to bring the cup home for 2 weeks to all the boys in Michigan, and obviously I was playing, so I wasn't there for it. But yeah, what a player he was, and it was awesome that I got to play with him, and for him to lift the Stanley Cup is unbelievable. Yeah.
What was it? So obviously you play hockey at a high level, and so one of the conversations that I always get asked all the time from parents, from anybody that plays soccer, is the idea of playing two sports when you're older, right?
Yeah.
Like you're playing two sports. A lot of times people feel like they need to commit to one or the other at a younger age now, especially as like the pressure starts to ramp up, and it seems like every kid's
Yeah.
goal is to be a professional soccer player, or a professional player at their level. So at what age did you decide that you were going to go the soccer route? And ultimately, like, what went into that decision? Because if you're playing two sports at a high level, there had to be something that was a factor that made you go with soccer as opposed to hockey.
Yeah, I think obviously to play two sports at a high level, even through high school and stuff, is extremely difficult. And you do see a lot more nowadays of people like really focusing, specializing in one. But I think playing both really helped my game in each of them, just like the spacing, just timing of things, and just like gamesmanship of that sort of stuff. But I had to end up making my final decision when my senior year of high school if I was going to go continue on to play.
That's pretty late for.
Yeah, to play college
Yeah.
hockey or college soccer. And you know, I was a little bit of a smaller guy in high school, so the college hockey route, they would want me to play a few years in juniors, and I would be drafted into a juniors team, and I had this scholarship for soccer lined up, and I was like, can I really pass this up? And you know, you always look back, there's a little bit of regret, like what if kind of stuff, but no, I'm very happy with where I'm at and how things have went. But I miss the sport, obviously, but
Yeah,
it was a good-
absolutely, man.
yeah.
There's not many ponds out here for you to like hop
Yeah,
on
yeah,
to
exactly,
and just like
yeah.
jump in and get a couple skates
Yeah.
in. But no, I mean, so I think that one of the things, and you know, I was very happy that I learned that about you when I did, because when I watch you play the game, like when I watch you play soccer now and the way that you approach the game, I mean, you could tell you have that type of mentality. Like it's a lot of speed, it's a lot of bite, it's a lot of fight, and like really like a lot of pressing and moving forward. Are those some of the things that, like you talk about the two games translating, is that one of the things that you've
Yeah.
adapted big time?
100%, just like that, like you said, that style of going forward, getting into fights. Like it's
Getting into fight,
you
yeah.
know, it's like you got to be able to use your body in a certain way to protect and to win battles. And I think hockey definitely helped me a lot. And then the spacing, timing of runs, that kind of stuff, just like playing into space. You'd be surprised on how much like the two.
No, I
coordinate
believe it.
with
I
each
believe
other.
it because when I started to like really get into hockey or watch hockey and start to learn the game, it's like this is essentially a 5v5 soccer scrimmage on skates where the rules are the same, the spacing,
Yeah.
finding those spots in between, connecting passes, all that stuff. So it
Absolutely.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Who's the toughest coach that you've had in your life so far?
Toughest coach, in terms of toughest on me, like.
I'm just probably asking about your mom.
Oh yeah. That's 100%. I mean, if she felt like I didn't work hard enough in the game, I'd be coming home and I'd running sprints in the basement.
Really?
And yeah, she was. I mean, she's like, it's all about hard work with her. She's like, you can be the most talented, whatever you do this, but if you're not, because you know, a term in hockey is back checking. When you lose a puck, you got to back check, and she still calls it that, even though playing soccer, like if. You got to get back. You got to help. You got to back check. I'm like, I don't know if we call it that anymore.
What did she coach though? Did she
basketball.
She coaches basketball. Okay.
She's retired now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But she did that for a long time. So
Long time.
When did she start getting like hard on you? At what age? Because I have an 8-year-old daughter. I just want to know, like, she was kicking it, the wrong way the other night in soccer. Do I need to lock her in the basement for like a couple of weeks till she can get it right, or when did she start really going to this? Is if you want to play, you got to get this thing right.
Yeah, I think pretty early on when they're paying all that money for you to play for travel teams and they're taking us to tournaments all over, especially soccer, hockey. My sister played a bunch of sports, so they're taking us all over. They expect us to work hard, and she let us know for sure.
What happened in I only did half of research on this, so I hope I'm not getting into a touchy area, but I saw a little piece that Sacramento did on you last year, and it was about your mom was so tough on you and everything, and that you were suspended for the first game of the year, and that you were too afraid to even tell her.
Yeah, so we lost in the Western Conference Final, and tempers were rising. My season was over. I was heated. I got red carded.
You dropped the gloves?
You know, I was close, but
I got red carded.
yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, so I would have to miss the opener for the next season. Whole off season, I'm with my parents and never let her know because I knew she, especially if you get a red card for dissent, she's especially not happy. So
the right amount of pressure, but always with respect.
Exactly,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And so I waited till I got back into Sacramento and
Called her
a few weeks before the game. I was like, "Listen, I'm not going to be playing the first game." And she let me have it over the phone, but not as bad as in person. So.
Man, is she your toughest critic still?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. That's a good story. So I think like going back to your soccer career a little bit and just the journey that you've been on, right? I know that you spent time in Portland. We talked about that. We were out there around the same time. But really just it seemed like your career started to pick up really like once you got to Pittsburgh and started moving things forward. What was it about that moment in time where you're working, you get out of college, you're playing for these different teams, you have a couple different stops along the road, and then you get to Pittsburgh. What was it that really got you clicking at that stage of it? Because really it's the higher level where you really started having that type of success.
Yeah, I think just experience. You've been around the league in a while. You learn how to score goals. You learn the right spaces to be. You understand how the game's going a little bit. And obviously, Bob Lilly at Pittsburgh, he was a great coach for me. He's hard, very hard, because I was one of the people I was going to throw out there for hardest. But he can really get a lot out of you, and I think he did for me there. And I learned a lot, and kind of my career, like you said, my career started growing from there. Really.
Is it something where you think that those experiences, because you talked to a lot of players where, we had Marco in here, and he was talking about how like those experiences gave him a huge chip on his shoulder. Whereas Jamali was here, he was talking about how more it was just like gaining experience and not necessarily a chip on his shoulder, but more of like I just needed the experience to get to where I needed to be. So from your perspective, did those types of experiences give you that chip, or was it more of like I just needed the experience to figure out?
I think it was a bit of both for me. I definitely had a chip on my shoulder. I always thought I was one of the best players and that I needed to keep proving myself, and just learning how the league was, how the style of play was, and where to find goals, where to find assists, and how to stay on the field, how to be in the starting lineup. I think my first few seasons in the league definitely taught me a lot about that, and I've always had a chip on my shoulder, so it was...
Yeah, it's something that just kind of
that's
came
there.
Yeah, just keeps it there.
Yeah,
for sure.
What's the mindset on the field when a goal is waved off? Because Saturday night, Marco had a goal. He kissed his 8-month-old baby, his wife.
You guys had a nice hug too.
Yeah,
you guys had a good moment
picture,
too, man.
Everybody's going crazy. We're loving it, and then all of a sudden, no goal, and then you guys got to get back to. What's the range of emotions there, and how do you get yourself like back ready to play?
Yeah, it was tough because it was a great team goal to build up everything.
Great,
all the way down the field. It was an amazing goal, and me and Marco combined in the last part of it to score this great goal. And like you said, we went over to his wife and his little baby. It was an amazing moment, and then we're jogging back to the halfway line, and the flags raised for offside, which was questionable, but.
Jeff said it wasn't, by the way.
All right. So I gotta ask you, unbiasedly, right?
Yeah.
Like remove that moment, Marco kissing his daughter, you guys having this passionate hug. Remove yourself from that moment, and you watch the replay back. Do you think it was offsides or no?
I think because Marco's ripping a shot from inside the 6. If Pedro's not there, the goalie's not saving it.
Right.
So that was the only thing, and I don't know how much Pedro affected the goalie or affected the play
That's
much.
What we were talking about before. It's like the hypothetical of affecting the play versus how much did they actually affect it.
Right,
so it's one of those things where it's just a judgment call.
Yeah. So no, but I feel like I was heated. I got another yellow card because of it. But we got a strong mentality in the group, so we were able to bounce back pretty quickly and keep the foot on the gas. So
that's tough.
Yeah.
This is a group where you look up and down the roster. Obviously, like we could talk about how many new players there are. That seems to be the storyline that everybody drives all the time, and it is a big storyline because of the way you guys have been able to come together. But I look at you in this group as one of the veteran leaders of a new team.
Yeah.
So you're coming into this situation. I want to talk to you about what made you ultimately decide to come to Tampa a little bit later. But you come into this group I'm sure with the understanding that I'm more of a leader, I'm more of a veteran guy in this team. So what was your mentality coming into this group, knowing that you were going to be one of those guys that's really going to push this thing forward and really be one of the drivers of the ship as this thing starts to come together?
Yeah, I think I was looking forward to it. I think Dom was very clear to me that I was going to be one of the leaders in the group when I was speaking to him about coming here, and I'm all for it. I think I don't I'm not going to talk to the group or motivate them that way. I'm more of a lead by example kind of guy, because when I come in, I'm going to be competitive. I'm going to work hard, and that's what Dom wanted. He said, just come in and be yourself, be Russell Cicerone, and it's really given me the go ahead to just to do what I got to do. And I think the guys have responded to me very well, and it's great to be a part of this group.
Yeah, I mean, you do a great job of it, because you're watching. I like talking to hockey players too. You just have that hockey player mentality where it's just like put my head down, get the work done, and lead by example. But it's fun to watch, man, because like you do a good job of, whether it's dictating when the press is going to go, the rest of the guys always follow you, or like you take the opportunity of these moments where it's just like, I'm going, like you better be with me, and if you're not with me, like we're going to be spread out, we're not going to be spacing the right way. And then like also just like you've been getting stuck in, which I appreciate.
Absolutely. I mean, I play on the left side a lot with Charlie, and I tell him I'm going and you better be with me. So
yeah,
and
so far so good.
He's been great with it, and he loves it too. So we've been playing well.
Yeah, so far so good.
Well, Big Russ, we've been asking this to everybody, that's new here. How have you been getting to know the Tampa Bay area? Where have you been going? Anything stand out? Anywhere you still want to go?
Yeah, I think. I live in St. Pete. And,
okay.
So I've been restaurants and stuff in downtown St. Pete a lot, and.
St. Pete's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You've been all over.
Yeah, I've been all over. I mean, I love it, and my family loves it, and proximity to the beach on an off day is amazing. And no, we've really been, especially the weather back home in Michigan. Whenever I talk to my friends or my family, it's been brutal. So it's nice that I'm here. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, Detroit Lightning playoffs.
Don't do this to me. You're going to cause that.
Is Steve Yzerman? The legacy of Steve Yzerman. Yeah. What do you think? It means more to Detroit, or it means more to Tampa?
You can't. He's
a
Red Wings guy.
I'm a Wings guy. It was my first team, my first game, first everything.
Let him have it. He's got to have it. That's not a team.
No, some of the best moments ever were Colorado versus Detroit. I still go back and watch those YouTube videos of those fights.
I mean, I was a little young, but like exactly going back and watching the YouTube videos, hearing my dad tell the stories about it, and because that '97 brawl, I was 3 or 4 years old. So, but yeah, I mean. It's hockey town, man.
It's hockey town, man.
Are you able to follow? Are you able to still follow? Do you follow it all? Or?
Yeah, I watch it. We're fighting for a playoff position right now. We were doing so well, and now it's getting a little sketchy. But Tampa Bay's doing well, so that's
things are bleak.
We'll be your second team. I think we could gladly be your second favorite team.
Yeah, well, things were bleak for a long time in Detroit. It started getting better. So I mean, we knew that was going to happen when Mr. Yzerman left town.
Yeah, so. the Yzerman effect right there.
Yeah, I could tell. Don't put Big Russ on the spot like that. Let him
I'm trying. Here's the deal, though. We gotta pump it up a little bit. So it's like, hey, Tampa Bay Lightning, let's get Big Russ out there to do some fun stuff.
Yeah,
okay. We got a guy that plays soccer that can actually skate, which is a rare thing, I think. So let's get him out there and do his thing a little bit.
Do like Yanni Gord lookalike contest with him or something like that.
Something like that. So speaking of like Tampa, obviously, it's where I'm from, so it's a city that I love. But what was it about this situation, right? Like that made you want to come to the Rowdies? Because at the time, the Rowdies didn't have a lot of success last year. Dom was a new coach coming in, so I think the understanding of who Dom was, especially if you didn't come with him from Omaha, you didn't know him before, there's a little bit of unknown in that. So as an experienced player that's coming from a place like Sacramento that's had a ton of success historically in the USL, to come to a project like this, what was the driving force behind that?
Yeah, I think just it's a massive, massive club in the league, and to be a part of something like that, you never take it for granted. And when I was speaking to Dom, speaking to Nico, and just what they were building, and I wanted to be a part of that, and I wanted to experience a few years playing for another. I've been lucky to play for some big clubs in this league, and this is another one. And you don't turn down Tampa too many times, and it's where I wanted to be.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer, man.
That sounds like what everybody said so far, is that they couldn't turn it down at all.
Well, it seems like it's just been a really good opportunity for a lot of guys that have that bite, but also want to develop and like build something together. And it's been an opportunity for you guys to do that. And the vibes around the locker room, obviously, the vibes are always great when you're winning. But it seems like even throughout the course of preseason, that's been a driving factor for what's been bringing the group together.
Yeah, a bunch of guys that want to win, and like I said, great mentality of a group. And
has the winning expedited the bonding process and the camaraderie between
obviously
everybody?
It makes everything easier, doesn't it? Yeah, so it's been good.
Yeah, it makes branding and marketing easier. For sure.
Everything around the entire club is
Come
easier,
on down.
Yeah.
All we do is win. Just kidding. Don't jinx that. I'm not going to jinx that. That's me saying that as a joke. But so appreciate you coming on, man. Like, and truly, like the way that you've started this season, it's been fun to watch. And especially, we were talking about a little bit. Obviously, the other guys have been doing well. Like Cruz is up for goal of the week. Pedro's done a good job as a 9. Carson's come on and done a good job. But
you're up for yellow card of the week, by the way.
We haven't even really gotten to see the offense at its full force with Evan and MD a little bit injured or slowly breaking their way in. And I think that you've been huge in driving it forward and a lot of the success offensively. So I think, one of the things we've been asking everybody to end it, just because as this continues to grow, as fans are starting to catch on of what's going on with the Rowdies, just kind of what fans can expect to see from you on a game in and game out basis. And then also, like, in your opinion and in your mindset, what can the fans expect to see from this group going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're an exciting group to watch. Front to back, we got very talented players, forward-thinking players. It's going to be exciting soccer. We're gonna score a lot of goals. We're gonna fight every weekend for 3 points, and it's a group that, even though we're winning right now, we're not going to be complacent. Everything is about growth, about moving forward, about getting better, and each week I think we have so far, and I think fans can continue to expect that from us. And for myself personally, I think I've been playing really well. I've been dangerous all 3 games that we've played so far, and I've been liking what I've been doing and what the group has been doing around me. And when you play with guys like that I'm playing with, it makes things easy. It makes it easy to work hard, run, and play good soccer.
All right, man. Yeah. Big Russ. It's Big Russ. We got to make the
man.
tifos. It's stuck.
I can't believe it.
Yeah,
this is so, now
are there any other? Oh, my bad. Are there any other nicknames that we should be calling somebody else now that you have the microphone and the opportunity to build something?
Unfortunately, nothing yet. But
give it time. We'll give it time.
Yeah. Right.
But now I just need to find, like, what is it? I don't know, like 6 other guys to do Big Russ. We spelled on our chest. So yeah,
dude, we could also get it. We'll get shirts printed. We can get shirts printed. Maybe we'll run it up the merch ladder.
The whole thing now. It's a brand. Okay, just accept it. That's what has to happen.
I love it, but you guys are killing me in the locker room. These guys are on my case every day.
I can't believe it, man. I'm so it's his fault. I say a lot of dumb things.
It's good. It's good to have fun stuff like that around the
good.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this, dude.
Team camaraderie. Yeah, thanks for coming on. And if you're listening to this, maybe we'll clip it. Tampa Bay Lightning. We're gonna try to get our guy Big Russ on the ice or doing something fun because he's been tearing it up. We all want to support Tampa sports, so if you're listening to this, maybe we can get it going.
Beautiful.
Maybe a nice 4th liner, too. You never know.
Yeah, maybe. Come playoff time, right? Does the roster open a little bit?
Yeah, well, not really, but we just stick them in, Just stick them in a jersey. They won't know.
They won't even notice. All right. I really appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, guys. Appreciate you guys.